This is 490, a fill-in issue that also acts as an epilog to 90s Thor's series, which had officially ended by this point, and it ended with constant clumsy moron 90s Thor dying. So this issue, it allows for some breathing space to mourn for his dead friend. And obviously Crusher Man shows up, and that is why it is part of my unofficial trilogy here with 90s Thor. As expected, this is by Tom Falcon, but the art is handled by Sal Buscema. That is John Buscema's brother. And we are dealing with Thor's grief over his deceased friend. And my problem with this is, it's not Thor's costume, which is outright horrific. This is what he got stuck with after Blood and Thunder. It just doesn't look like Thor. And the helmet in particular, the way it comes down over his face is really bad. The way the helmet frames his face, it really does remind me of every bad 90s story. But my actual problem with this issue is Thor is struggling to cope, and he is super bummed out about 90s Thor dying, and it just feels a bit bollocks. Everyone, like Anthony Hopkins here, or on the next page, the Warrior Brothers, they are all noting how inconsolable and angry Thor is. But 490s Thor spent very little time on panel together. For most of 90s Thor's existence, he was Thor while the real Thor was considered dead. Then when Thor came back and 90s Thor got his own book, they still didn't cross over much. There's like one 2-part Thor story, and then one 90s Thor issue where they team up. Then the final issue of 90s Thor, when he dies, Thor is in that. I always thought it was a missed opportunity to not have the two of them interact more. Even during Blood and Thunder, when Thor was gunning around, beating everyone up, 90s Thor never showed up. During Affinity Cluedo, the two of them didn't share a scene. 90s Thor isn't even acknowledged in Affinity Cluedo. It is really a spectacular oversight and missed opportunity. And the result is that this issue, it acts as if the two of them were like best buddies. And it feels like an over-dramatised recollection of events. We did get a pretty solid history lesson on 90s Thor, and how he ended up becoming 90s Thor when Thor was done away with and his soul condemned to hell for killing his brother. And after a short-lived career as a particularly useless superhero, 90s Thor died. They didn't depict this very well. He died when he got possessed by an evil axe. It is just like 90s Thor to die as a failure like that. But the real heart to this story begins here. Thor goes to 90s Thor's grave and he finds a shifty fella incognito. No, it's not the infamous whistleblower, Deep Throat, but it is Crusher Man, who has come to pay his respects to 90s Thor. Naturally, Thor and him start fighting. Thor is completely unaware of the friendship shared between Crusher Man and 90s Thor. So he thinks Crusher Man is there to be evil or whatever. That is a good case point for how little Thor and 90s Thor interacted. Thor didn't even know that 90s Thor had a working relationship with Crusher Man that would explain why he is visiting his grave. The funny thing here is that Crusher Man has a much better point and is much more understanding and communicative than Thor is. Thor genuinely comes across as an angry jackass for most this issue. It definitely has shades of Blood and Thunder to it, and I wonder if that was intentional or not. Thor is acting just like he did in Blood and Thunder. His reaction to a death is to just agitate and fight everyone he can. Maybe this is how Blood and Thunder should have started. At least then, Thor, he would have had a reason for his madness, rather than just waking up one day and being insane and imagining up an ugly woman. During the fighting, Crusher Man is Thor's intellectual superior. Fuck me, imagine that. Crusher Man, he is someone's intellectual superior. Thor, he notices that Crusher Man is sincere in his appearance at the grave, and he has even left flowers. I think this is out of character, but that is just me. I mean, it is a lovely issue and character study, but I didn't see Crusher Man as a flower buying sort. Thor, he sees sense, and the two put aside their differences briefly to honour the memory of 90s Thor. Crusher Man, he explains to Thor how 90s Thor always gave him the benefit of doubt, and he would try to talk things through with him, unlike how Thor treats him. And really, there is some nice little bits with Crusher Man and him being a surprisingly pretty smart guy and seriously upset about 90s Thor dying. This old drama doesn't really make Thor come to any realisation, because he straight away turns to Anthony Hopkins and blames him for 90s Thor's death. And I would love to say there was a clean ending where Thor dealt with mortality, but it's not quite there. They think it is. I get the feeling, I get the impression that they think they had Thor accept summit, but really all that happened was Anthony Hopkins said some stuff, and now Thor feels less upset. It is a strong issue, but it definitely has its troubles. I tend to forget about those bits and remember the good parts of it. Some closure to 90s Thor's character and a little cap to his series. He never comes back either. 90s Thor, he has never been brought back except for 2 issues in Kurt Busey's Avengers run when he was a Zumba. He stayed dead, which seems a waste. There's plenty more that could have been done with the character, but he stayed dead forever. And eventually his son will grow up and take up the 90s Thor mantle in 2010. I'll give this issue 7 thumbs up, but I really do hate Thor's helmet. It is the worst thing in this comic. His helmet. It reminds me so much of bad 90s stories and Tom Greinberger's art and stuff like that. I didn't like seeing it. Flush the helmet down the toilet.